Fade in.
Sphincter up your sideways, you boring you cow.
Nerdrotic.com.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Nerdrotic. You know, biggest Star Wars fan on the planet, especially Disney Star Wars. Oh my God. Yeah. I love J.J. Abrams, Kathleen Kennedy. I mean, very competent folks who have done a great job. They've had Star Wars for 10 years and they've managed to make a half a good season.
And even that was kind of,
yeah,
you know,
it was kind of, but like, hey, you know, sometimes it takes a while for people to get going, and 10 years is totally acceptable, especially when you desecrate two of the most popular characters in history, Han Solo and Luke Skywalker.
Hey, we have Rey now, okay?
She's
more powerful. She's all three and combined into one, so we need one character for all three.
She is Luke Skywalker with teats, but more amazing. I mean, barely. I mean, actually, Mark Hamill's teats might be bigger than Daisy Ridley's.
At this point. Did you see his tweet? Yeah, well.
Yes, and I think that's horrible. That's a horrible reaction to this trailer. I didn't like it either, but I mean, I think that's going a little too far.
Yeah, a little bit
too far. So we're going to watch a trailer of a babysitter of a quitter. Okay, so let's take a look at this right now. Here we go. Oh, I recognize that. Boom, ba-da-da-doom.
Is that Tatooine?
I think it's Tatooine. My God, it's been 3 weeks since we've seen Tatooine.
Man, I wish they had set a whole TV series just in Tatooine, you know, exclusively in Tatooine at all times.
We need that. I think it's something, you know, especially since the last one was kind of in Tatooine the whole time. But I mean, not this Tatooine, not the Tatooine we know.
This is the Tatooine we know.
Boom, do-do-do-do.
Fade in.
Fade in. It faded in. You're right. It faded in. Amazing. It's amazing.
Geniuses.
We lost.
All right. The fight is done. We lost. Now, we know from the Bounding in the Comics article that Ewan McGregor said that this is a broken and defeated Obi-Wan Kenobi, except for the fact that when we ended Revenge of the Sith, he didn't look like he was that broken and defeated. He looked like he was resolute, sad.
Yeah.
Sad. He just lost his bro.
Yeah.
He had the high ground, so he dismembered his bro.
I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. I mean, he's a little sad. I'd be a little sad.
I'd be sad. Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, oh, man.
Stay here.
Luke.
Keep it secret. Cool to see, even though it's going to be lore shattering.
You think they're actually going to have him fight?
Maybe more than once. And I think that is just absolute desperation by Disney Star Wars. They are at the point where, I mean, just do what you want to do. You want to remake the original trilogy. I've been saying this for years. And they're going to do it.
Do it.
And they might even do it as like a TV series. There's a way you could do it that would be good, but it would have to be in an alternate reality, not in our current reality.
It would have to be like a what if kind of thing.
In the multiverse where the Twin Towers are still standing, you know, election results, you know,
were accurate.
Stuff like that. And not in our reality. No,
not this one. No,
maybe we're the Disney we thought would buy Star Wars that they would execute, you know, not the Disney that we have right now.
That we currently got. Yeah. Like a creative Disney.
It goes to show you, you know, you could have everything down on paper. It's kind of like Marxism, which a lot of people argue would work on paper, which I don't, but let's just use it as a bad example. It's kind of like Marxism. They say it works on paper, but then when you see it executed, it just executes the thing you love.
It's never really been tried.
Or a beloved franchise.
You know, Disney Star Wars has never really been tried. So let's go back and remake the original trilogy. I think that's the plan.
Oh, absolutely. Right now, what they're doing is like this would have been more profitable in a theater, but they decided to move ahead of this in the time of COVID. So now they're burning like the last glimmer of hope they have of having a $1 billion Star Wars movie, which is Darth Vader hunting Jedi, which I would probably even get suckered into that.
They're using all their powder on this Disney Plus, which if you saw the article earlier, they posted one today where they're actually adding a cheaper subscription price for Disney Plus. It's not because they're desperate to get subs. It's for, you know, customer choice. That's what it's for.
Customer choice. Did you know what their sub goal was for 2024?
No,
over 200,000 subscribers. They're never going to get it. Not even with a cheaper thing. They're going to have to give away a bunch of free ones like they did with Verizon. Like they did and counted them, even though they said they didn't count them, but it was in the wording to go to their shareholders. But after that, you're going to stop lying. There is a ceiling to fucking streaming. They're just, especially with this much competition, it's going to have to go a la carte, and they're all going to have to go ad driven at some point.
And what are they going to do? They're going to continue to use up the time in between movies that we cared about and fill it full of all these little stories that nobody really likes.
We're gonna see
what are they gonna do? Like, what are they gonna do whenever they run out of time?
Luke and Biggs, best buddies. Yeah. And they'll have met because of some girl. And by the way, that's what this is gonna be about. So Obi-Wan.
Yeah, what's the theory?
One mission is to watch Luke Skywalker is going to leave the fucking planet, which was his one job, to go find Princess Leia, who will teach him how to be the Jedi and man that he forgot how to be after the destruction and loss of losing his bruh.
They did show in the Entertainment Weekly photos that he's in a completely different planet. So he does leave. Your purpose was to stay there. Who else is watching?
How are you protecting Luke if you leave?
He's like, well, I looked at the binoculars and I saw him playing. Once he's good, I'm out of here. I'm going to go party down in the underworld, go to a rave, smoke some death sticks.
All right. And then get caught at another planet, forgetting that other planets don't have different laws. And then he just had a couple of death sticks for personal use.
They weren't even his. He was holding.
They weren't even his. He was just holding them for a friend. And it's a planet Russia.
Yeah, yeah.
Desert planet.
Yeah, it's doomed. Like it's not.
No, it's Hoth. It's Hoth.
It would have to be. It would have to be Hoth. They'd go back there.
Are you going to watch this Quarter Black, Garrett?
Just because I do a show on Fridays. We'll probably talk about it, but I'm not gonna care about it. I don't care right now. I'm like apathetic to the whole Star Wars thing. I barely even make myself watch the original trilogy. It's like messed me up that much. And I love Star Wars. Okay. You don't even understand. I love Star Wars. It was my whole life. Whenever I was, a teen, my dad liked it. One of my first memories of watching a movie in theaters was Star Wars in the re-release whenever it came out. I love Star Wars, and now I just don't care because it's not Star Wars to me. Whenever I say that, it's not Star Wars. This Disney stuff is not. They use the same people, like Ewan McGregor. They use the names, but all the stuff, it just feels like fan fiction at this point. I mean, we're 10 years into this. And you can't tell me that this isn't fan fiction. This is all just fan fiction. You can be unhappy with what where he went with it, but at least it was different. At least it was creative in his way. Like I'd rather see that.
George's decision. Like even when I was being critical of George, it's his baby. It was his decision. So I'm not gonna totally hate. I never hated the guy. I was disappointed that he didn't go out and get other directors. I know he wanted to. He didn't have the fire and passion. He's terrible with the actors. But one thing I even said, and this is going back to the comic shop days, is Ewan McGregor was the one guy who brought his little lunch pail, right? And dude, the guy's a douchebag in real life, like most actors. But he brought his little lunch pail to work, and he was a good Kenobi in all three movies. He tried, even when you could tell he didn't have a beard and they had to do reshoots and they
had to put the fake beard on.
I think that was in the first or second. I can't remember.
It was the second one.
I've seen the prequels. Yeah. And I thought he always brought it. I think their biggest mistake was cramming too much at the end. I mean, ultimately, everything should have been Revenge of the Sith. The first two movies are fucking pointless. You should have just made 3 movies out of Revenge of the Sith, and you show Anakin from a teenage or late teenage slowly going over to the dark side instead of just it happening.
And you could have set that during the Clone Wars, had episode 1 like the literal start of the Clone Wars, and then go from there. And the whole 3-act structure there is, like you said, Anakin falling to the dark side.
Clone Wars saved those movies for a generation.
Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah,
they absolutely did, and they were very good.
A lot of context in there.
I know, I'm in between Ryan and Jeremy on them, right? I don't think they're the greatest things in sliced bread.
I don't like them.
Tartakovsky's Clone Wars were far superior.
Fuck yes, that's what I always say. Whenever the movie came out, because they started with the Clone Wars movie, and I saw the animation quality of it, and I'm thinking of the Tartakovsky version. I'm like, What is this?
I was in that
Oh,
screening. I got passes to a special screening. I'm like, what the?
yeah.
And like, the animation was to make them look like they're carved out of wood or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what? Why?
Why?
I mean,
So yeah, I was off put by that and I never picked it up. I have a lot of friends that were super into Star Wars just like I was that loved it. So I understand that a lot of people love it and it counts as canon to them and I'll accept it as canon because it was under George in the actual Lucasfilm umbrella before it turned to the dark side. So I'll accept it. I just never got into it. But yeah, the Genndy Tartakovsky ones, those are the ones because they show the action far better, almost better than the movies in a lot of places. Like General Grievous was cooler in that cartoon. Yeah, it's
what's
sad.
the,
It's sad at this point.
the Inquisitor's name who was prominent in this trailer? I mean,
Grand Inquisitor?
not
I
the
don't know
no
what his name
guy,
is though.
the girl, the black
Ra-
who was
Rava?
prominent, Reina or so. Yeah,
Rava? I think his name is Rava.
was prominent in the trailer,
Buzz.
one trailer, and they didn't show Darth Vader, which they're saving for what everybody fucking knows. I admit I was listening to a little EFAP today, but I just caught a snippet of it, and I give Rag credit for predicting. I think the first episode might not. He predicted like the first episode's not going to have Obi-Wan in it at all until the end, and he's bitter and broken. And didn't you? Was it you who brought up that it's and it reminds us of somebody? No, maybe it's somebody else.
No.
But yeah, that doesn't that remind you of Luke Skywalker a little bit?
A little bit.
In Last Jedi?
Yes, I did. Whenever I sent the quote from the article,
Yes.
it was like he's bitter and broken and he's lost. And then I just posted a picture of Jake Skywalker. And like that's what it is.
That's
That
exactly
is the same thing. You're doing the
So-
same thing.
We're gonna have a broken Obi-Wan. This is gonna be a lot like Picard. It'll be a lot like fucking Hawkeye. They're very similar themes.
Yeah, sad white
some
male
women-
leader.
We'll show the
broken.
sad white male.
Yeah.
How to live, and then
And they just haven't shown the scruffy young lass that's going to help him and teach him his ways. But I guess that'll probably be Leia, right?
I've always imagined a resolute Kenobi. You can still feel loss and still be resolute, right? Like I've got a mission and
stoic.
It's now more important than ever because I possibly have the last little groaning Jedi out there. We got Yoda, who's 900 and hiding. Don't know where the fuck he is. I think it's realistic to think that there might be a couple of other Jedi who survived Order 66. Maybe even
at this point in Disney Star Wars, there's fucking like 100 different Jedis.
I never knew the difference between a dozen and a baker's dozen, but I mean, it's still a dozen, right?
Thing.
12. Yeah. So say there's 12 fucking Jedi out there that Darth Vader hunts down. Sure, he sends out his little minions, but hey, the dude hanging. Okay. That's the kind of thing I've been looking for. Yes.
That's a little Old West feel. It's got like they're hunting down these people.
Or being hanged. Sorry.
Yeah, being hanged. Is that the hang? What is it?
It's hanged.
Hanged doesn't sound right, but
I mean, like before
I'm
anybody
dumb.
thinks I've like jumped back on the Disney Star Wars train, I don't even know if I'm going to watch it. I mean, like I cover pop culture. This is a major pop culture event. I did warn everyone that I would dip back into this one because of the rematch and just to tear it to shreds, to be honest with you. But I don't care about Star Wars anymore. I could give a fuck, and it's because of this young lady right here.
Yeah,
Gina Carano. I stand with Gina Carano. I will always stand with Gina Carano. And going back and reviewing Star Wars I feel like she would never. She's liked a couple of my tweets. Okay, that's the basis of our interaction. I think we've DM'd a couple times just very lightly, but we're not buds. Hey. But I would feel disloyal to her by covering Star Wars. Star Wars would have to be good for a couple of years straight without being woke for me to even think about coming back. And I probably wouldn't because I just don't care. It doesn't move the needle for me at all. It's lame now. I used to think Star Wars was one of the coolest things ever fucking made, period. Even when I was being called a dork for liking it in the early 80s and late 70s, when I was a dork, I knew that it was fucking cool. Like, this is one of the coolest things ever fucking made. And now it's not. It's one of the least coolest things ever made. It's embarrassing. And it's embarrassing because of Disney. They've had it for over a decade now. And it's Oh, it's a decade. It'll be a decade this October.
Yeah.
And
They signed over.
done shit with it. And
High Republic, that's what Disney Star Wars. If they could do anything and if they weren't meddling in all of these things that were already created and using characters that we already have seen, they would be doing stuff like High Republic and Star Cruiser. That's the Star Wars that you're going to get once they run out of member berries to siphon out of you. That's what we're going to get.
Yeah.
It's dead. Let it go. Put it away.
When
it's Wilson floating away in the just let it go. Okay.
It is. And this is a story that people, original trilogy fans, wanted to see.
I would love to see this, but now I don't really care.
Give a fuck. Honestly, could give a fuck. So I don't give a fuck about Star Wars. This is not even going on the main channel. This is going to go on Nerdrotic Daily. You know, there's great channels out there that cover Star Wars the right way. I would one off the top of my head, Raging Rhino. Good guy, Australian. Go check out his channel, you know, and of course Drunk 3PO's out there. You know, like there's still people who cover Star Wars. It's just not going to be my thing. It's not my thing, and thank God it's not my thing,
because it sucks.
Because it's fucking lame.
It is so lame.
But you can get Rebellion shirts. You got to ask Drunk 3PO that one though.
Yeah,
so
that's what we're
still in for him for his merch. But you know, it's good merch. It's like really good merch. That's why I'm proud to wear it. You know, and a lot of it goes to charity. So that's a good read. So hey, as we leave, anything you want to plug, sir?
Just my channel, Quarter Black Garrett. That's where you can find me. That's where I do stuff. And the Nerdrotic channel. Yeah. So watch one of the videos every once in a while. I edit one of those. So
you do, and you'll be joining me on Nooners once those fire up again, which will be very soon, including one show.
Once you get that wall finished.
Once I get this wall finished, that's when we start, which is supposed to be next week.
We'll see.
It'll happen. Yeah. Dude, I spent like an entire day on that. But Chris Gore will be joining us on Wednesday, on the Wednesday Nooner. So
dude, that's awesome. I love Chris Gore.
Yeah.
Chris Gore is awesome.
Please like, share, and subscribe, especially here at Nerdrotic Daily, which is co-run by the great Perry Chan, who's in the back studio right now, lurking and listening.
Thank you, Perry Chan.
Thank you, Perry Chan. We love Perry Chan. He did, and he edited my last Lord of the Rings video. He's a beautiful man, even though he's Canadian. We don't hold that against him.
Yeah, we don't. That's not his fault.
All right. So, yeah, fuck Disney Star Wars. Bye.
Fade out.
Fade out.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.
If you like what I do here, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking and sharing the videos. It really does help. And if you did this with your favorite YouTuber as well, I'm sure they would appreciate it as much as I do.